chaired by Dr. K.V. Radhakrishnan, Senior Principal Scientist and Head of the Chemical Sciences and Technology Division, CSIR, NIST, Thiruvanathapuram. His research interests include organic photochemistry, pharmaceutically important molecules, and phytochemistry with special focus on bioprospecting of medicinal plants from Western Ghats. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for this wonderful function. I am so happy to be part of this function. And today we had two speakers in the first session. In fact, I'm so happy to see these young students. Malayalathil parayano. So, before starting to introduce, I would like to let you know that it's actually the biodiversity of our country. That's a wealth. That's our wealth of the country. And in addition to that, when it comes to Indian traditional medicine is not just Ayurveda, Ayush systems, folklore medicines, which you some time ago you heard from Lakshmi Amma. And it's actually a powerful thing. And we in NIST Trivandrum, we are also doing a lot related to this, especially in validating the folklore knowledge to societally important things. So I'm so happy that our director has talked to you about it. So right now what we face is the knowledge erosion. More than the resource erosion, right now we are going through a very fast knowledge erosion in the area of traditional knowledge, especially folklore knowledge. So it is our duty to conserve it, document it for the welfare, for a healthy India, for future generations. And I'm so happy to see that Vijnana Bharati is doing a great job for conserving this knowledge and for enriching this knowledge of traditional knowledge for the welfare of social welfare or healthy India. So with this short introduction, let me welcome Dr. V Muralivallabhan, who is the Director of Marion Institute of Management. In fact, he is holding a number of responsibilities. And he is the winner of St. Bertrand's Award for the Best College Teacher of Kerala in 2010. And he had the same two MAs, one MA in Economics, MA in Political Science, and his PhD in Green Policies and Sustainable Development in Kerala in 1997. In fact, there are so many things to talk about him. He is a winner of Speaker Special Award, Brilliant Achiever Award, and I think it will take so much time to read all of it. Currently, he is holding several responsibilities as the Director of Marion Institute of Management, in addition to that several other responsibilities, and he has presented and published several papers internationally and nationally. And with this short introduction, sir, I welcome to you.
Very good morning to all of you. എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. എനിക്ക് മുൻപ് സംസാരിച്ചവരൊക്കെ തന്നെ മലയാളത്തിലാണ് ആദ്യം തുടങ്ങിയത്, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാനും ആ പതിവ് തെറ്റിക്കുന്നില്ല. ഇവിടെ കൂടിയിരിക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികളെയാണ് എനിക്ക് കൂടുതൽ പ്രതീക്ഷയോടുകൂടി കുട്ടികളിലാണ് പ്രതീക്ഷ അർപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. കാരണം പുതിയ പുതിയ അറിവ് ലഭിക്കുന്നത് ഉപയോഗിക്കേണ്ട തലമുറ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുട്ടികളുടെയാണ്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ അനുഭവം സിദ്ധിച്ചവർ പുതിയ പുതിയ അറിവിൻ്റെ കണ്ണികൾ കണ്ടെത്തുമ്പോൾ അത് പ്രയോഗത്തിൽ കൊണ്ടുവരേണ്ട ചുമതല എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുട്ടികൾക്കാണ്. ദാറ്റ്സ് വൈ ദ റോൾ ഓഫ് യങ്സ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ആർ വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് ഇൻ ബിൽഡിംഗ് ദ നേഷൻ. നമ്മളിവിടെ രാവിലെ തൊട്ടിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ലോകത്തിൽ സാധാരണ പറയാറുള്ളത് 2-3 തരക്കാരുണ്ട്. അതിൽ ആദ്യത്തെ കൂട്ടർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വികാരാനന്ദന്മാർ എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. നമുക്ക് ചെറിയ ചെറിയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴാണ് കൂടുതൽ തൊലിപ്പുറത്തുള്ള സുഖത്തിൻ്റെ പിൻപേ പായുന്ന ഒരു ലോകത്ത് വികാരാനന്ദന്മാർ, വികാരത്തിൽ ആനന്ദം കൊള്ളുന്നവർ. രണ്ടാമത്തെ വിഭാഗം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വിചാര ആനന്ദന്മാർ. ബുദ്ധിപരമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞന്മാർ, നമ്മുടെ അധ്യാപകരൊക്കെ ബുദ്ധിപരമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ആനന്ദം കൊള്ളുന്നവരാണ്. ഇനിയും മറ്റൊരു വിഭാഗമുണ്ട്, അവരാണ് വാസ്തവത്തിൽ ലോകത്തെ നിലനിർത്തുന്നത്. അവർ വളരെ ന്യൂനപക്ഷമാണ്. They can be called as the microscopic minority, but they decide the future of the world and the destiny is depending upon them. ആരാണ് അവര്? വിവേകാനന്ദന്മാർ. രാവിലെ ഞാൻ വിവേകാനന്ദജിയുടെ പ്രസംഗം കേട്ടപ്പോൾ സത്യത്തിൽ എനിക്ക് തോന്നി, വിവേകത്തിൽ ആനന്ദം കൊള്ളുന്നതാരോ അവർ. കാരണം വികാരമല്ല ലോകത്തെ നിലനിർത്തുന്നതും നിയന്ത്രിക്കേണ്ടതും, വിചാരവുമല്ല. വിചാരത്തിന്റെ ഫലമായിട്ട് ശാസ്ത്രം കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചത് എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്നുള്ളത് വഴിയെ നമ്മൾ കാണും. എന്നാൽ വിവേകമില്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ സമൂഹം നിലനിൽക്കുകയില്ല. ആധുനിക ശാസ്ത്രത്തെ വിവേകം നയിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോഴാണ് ഇതിന്റെ ടോപ്പിക്കിന്റെ ടൈറ്റിൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഹോളിസ്റ്റിക് വിഷൻ എന്നാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മളൊരു മൾട്ടി ഡിസിപ്ലിനറി വേൾഡിലാണ് ജീവിക്കുന്നത്. ആ ഹോളിസ്റ്റിക് വിഷൻ വന്നത് വിവേകത്തിന്റെ ഫലമായിട്ടാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ സ്റ്റേജിൽ അനന്തകൃഷ്ണൻ സാറ് മോഡേൺ സയൻസിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞു, ലക്ഷ്മിക്കുട്ടി അമ്മ ട്രഡീഷണൽ വിസ്റ്റത്തെ കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞു, വിവേകാനന്ദജി സ്പിരിച്വാലിറ്റിയെയും മോഡേൺ സയൻസിനെ തമ്മിൽ ബന്ധിപ്പിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞു. ഇങ്ങനെ എല്ലാം കൂടി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് വരുന്ന ഒരു ലോകത്തിലാണ് നാം ജീവിക്കുന്നത്. That is what is known as the multidisciplinary world. And please, dear students, you are going to progress through these paths. And you have to learn a lot about the multidisciplinary developments that are taking place in the field of science, technology, social science, even in spiritual science. That also is considered as a branch of science. I think that when we are going to deal with Agni and health, you may be wondering how they are related. You see, in an interrelated world, everything is interrelated. And Dr. Anandabhushan said that the young India, about 30 to 35, 40% of Indian population consists of the youths, vibrant, dynamic youths, firebrand youths. Firebrand not for destructing the country, but for constructing the country, nation building. That's why we are here. And Vijnana Bharati is doing a lot of service in this field of blending science and spirituality, thanks to the efforts of Vivekanandaji and others. And our Prime Minister is also having a vision to make India the #1 country in the 21st century. It's as part of this that we are having these types of seminars and conferences. Now, let us see what I am going to present is, to put it in a nutshell, what I am going to present before you is the omnipresent Agni in the form of calamities, chaos, conflicts and confrontations and corruption. That is a form of fire that we are facing in the society now. All sorts of conflicts, war, confrontations, they all result in chaos, and along with that corruption and many other things. That these negativities are due to the negative impact of the fire working in human minds. Next, I will speak about the text of science and technology in the context of the present world. The text of science and technology in the context of the present world. Then the Bharatiya vision, of course. Then Panjamahabhoothas, of course, Vivekanandaji has just now given a brief introduction. And last but not the least, the Agni and what are its characteristics according to the Panjamahabhootha theory. Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge, and where is the knowledge we have lost in information? This is a famous quote from T.S. Eliot. We are living in a world of information explosion at the sensory level, both destructive and constructive, and both pollution and purification through knowledge. So knowledge results in the pollution of the world and purification of the world. The information explosion results at the sensory, it is at the sensory level, and it is both destructive and constructive. The information of Agni in mind should be incorporated with the knowledge of Agni and wisdom of Agni. The concept of Agni's knowledge is modern science, and the wisdom of Agni is the spiritual science or the values. Blending modern knowledge with traditional wisdom, that is the purpose of this seminar. And wisdom recognizes the cosmic mind that includes the Panjamahabhoothas. It is called rhythm. Rhythm is the eternal truth, and it is in Sanskrit we call as urdam. The term holistic is from the Greek word holos, means whole. That refers to an understanding of reality in terms of integrated wholes, whose properties cannot be reduced to those of smaller units. This is the basis of systems theory also. Now we consider the cosmos, the universe, as a whole system, one system. Everything is interrelated. Systems theory looks at the world in terms of interrelatedness as interdependence of all phenomena, living organisms, societies, ecosystems, economic system, everything is interrelated. That is why 5 grams of the virus, less than 5 grams of coronavirus could, affect all the human activities of this world. It has adversely affected the economic system, science and technology, everything came to a standstill. How a virus can stop all human activities, and animals were enjoying their life through national highways. We have read from newspapers. And how the system is interrelated. One example is that the chlorofluorocarbons in America will cause climate change in Australia. No nation is independent. Every nation is interrelated in terms of environment. Butterfly effect. In 1963, Edward Lorenz was a mathematician as well as a climate scientist. He said that a butterfly that flutters in wings in Amazon forest, and the tiny air currents that come out of the fluttering of the wings of the butterfly after traveling tens of thousands of kilometers will turn itself into a tornado. So you see how tiny air currents are changed into tornadoes. Nobody will believe that. But there is a modeling, computer modeling made by Edward Lorenz, and it is known as the butterfly effect. Have you ever thought of that? A small change, tiny change made by the butterfly could make a tornado after traveling tens of thousands of kilometers. This is butterfly effect. And this butterfly effect cannot be detected by a scientist normally. Only after deep thought we will be able to detect that. And Small is Beautiful is another work made by an economist. Small is Beautiful is the work of E.F. Shoemaker. And Shoemaker said that it is intermediate technology which is the best suited. No large-scale technology, no root technology, but it is the intermediate technology. And if you relate it to the words of Buddha, Buddha said that the middle path is the best path. Just like in technology, intermediate technology is the best one. The middle path in life, we will come to see what is the middle path in terms of the Panjamahabhoothas. So we are now passing on to the multidisciplinary way. So why a discipline is not complete in itself? Physicists, nuclear scientists, They are very good at describing and practicing the manufacturing of atom bombs. But they are not able to explain why atom bombs are made by human beings. But perhaps an international political expert may be able to answer this question. An expert from international relations may be able to answer the question why atom bomb is made. But how atom bomb is made is answered by a nuclear scientist. Economists cannot explain why the Himalayan glaciers are retreating or receding every year between 18 to 20 meters. Maybe glaciologists are able to explain. But glaciologists are unable to explain why diminishing marginal utility operates in consumption. Maybe economists or even psychologists are able to do this. This means that no discipline is complete in itself to answer all the questions arising out of that discipline. This is holistic vision. No discipline is able to answer all the questions arising out of the field of science and technology, even in that field itself. A nuclear scientist may not be able to answer all the questions that are arising out of the field of nuclear science. It is incomplete. Therefore, there is a need for the holistic and integrated vision. As a result, you see the development of science and technology. In that development, we see that biophysics, spaces of physics and biology together, biochemistry, chemistry and biology together, biostatistics, mathematical economics, economics and mathematics combined together, political economy, and at last in the last quarter of the 20th century and in the first decade of 21st century, we see that there is a blending of eco-spirituality. In the field of, under the umbrella of environmental science, we see that there is eco-spirituality, eco-theology, eco-sophy. Eco-sophy means ecology plus philosophy. Eco-politics, green technology, green benches in courts, green laws and NGT, green management, green marketing, green accounting, and even eco-literature. This is multidisciplinary. How? Each discipline has come under environmental science and blends together all the different phenomena of this world, and everything is interrelated. And the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations is the best example to speak of the holistic and multidisciplinary development. I have tried to define this because we are moving ahead along this path of multidisciplinary study. Now, when we are speaking of the science and technology, we should also remember that what is the context. I referred in my introduction that in the context of the present world, and what is the context that has been framed by the texts of science and technology. Global nominal GDP, that is global domestic product, global income, national domestic product, gross domestic product is the value of the goods and services produced. In economics you study, it's a national income. Just like that the GDP of the globe is the income of the globe, the total nations. It was calculated by IMF around US dollars 93.86 trillion. Trillion is 1 lakh crore, we know. In 2021, the world income was $93.86 trillion. Conflict and violence caused to the world more than $14.4 trillion worth loss. That is about 16% a year. So out of the 100%, 16% of the world income is spent to meet the expenses of conflicts, war, and the associated expenses. That is equivalent to $5 per person per day on this planet, which is being spent to kill men and destroy resources. Is it wise, sustainable, moral, ethical and progressive. See, if 100 rupees is in your pocket and if you are spending 16 rupees to kill another person and to destroy this world, can we call this wisdom? On the piles of nuclear arms, we are sitting and preaching peace. This is the contradiction that we find in this world. On this planet, 689 million people, that is 9% in this world, live on less than $1.9 a day. If simply $1.9 is the per capita income of the world population, and if $5 are spent per capita to destroy this world, how much wise we are? Are we wise? Resting on the piles of nuclear arms, politicians are preaching peace. The world's 10 most violence-affected countries are spending up to 55% of their GDP on the effects of conflicts and violence. The reference is also given. If you want, you can refer. World Economic Forum. Now, another important thing. Think of the history of science and technology in which inventions have been made. Majority of the inventions, major portion of the inventions have been made for war purposes. For example, sanitary napkins of 1920s were used first for the wounded soldiers. Now it is widely used by civilians. Radar and walkie-talkies of 1930s were first used for war purposes. Now air traffic control systems, business and public safety measures, we are using this. Night vision equipment, ballistic missiles, nuclear technology and jet engine of 1940s are now used for night surveillance, space exploration, weather forecasting, nuclear energy and medicine, and in airlines also. Digital photography and internet from ARPANET of 1960s, they were first designed for war, and now we are using digital cameras and information technology, etc. And satellite navigation and GPS of 1970s, they were also first invented for war purpose, and now we are using GPS in day-to-day life. And another impact of modern science and technology, IPCC. IPCC is the International Panel on Climate Change. Their studies reveal that prior to 1800, the carbon dioxide level was only 240 parts per million. 240 parts per million. But now in 2018, it rose to 400 parts per million, and in 2021 it reached 419 parts per million. NASA gives an alert on dipping groundwater level. 21 out of world's largest 37 aquifers have passed their sustainability tipping points, and the future world war will be not for oil but for water. Each year globally, a net loss of 26 billion tons of soil due to erosion and degradation. That is World Resources Institute study. So, air, water and soil, which are the three basic necessities for the survival of humanity, are being destroyed. Recurring tornadoes, heat waves in one part, freezing cold in another part, floods in one part, forest fires on another part. This shows that climate change has occurred, and climate show an erratic behavior. Now, we spent billions of dollars to find life on other planets and trillions of dollars killing the life on this planet. This is the context that I referred in the beginning. How wise we are. Now, in this situation, what is the way out? The world is looking for a solution. And can India suggest something? Is our tradition worthwhile? Is it useful? See, the Bharatiya vision, country, there were two methods for acquiring knowledge. One is the external and the other is the internal. Our rishis had the external search for the ultimate truth, that is known as the Aparavidya. They searched in rivers, they searched for knowledge in mountains, in stars, in moon, on forest, on desert, and everything that is external, material knowledge. They have searched their Lord, and there are so many umpteen books and scriptures about this. And internal search for the ultimate truth, that is known as Paravidya. Vivekananda ji was referring that when Adi Shankara tried to answer many queries. Ekam sad vipra bahutha vadanti satyameva jayate. All these are the results of the internal inquiry of Indian rishis. Ishavasya vidam sarvam, omnipresence and interdependence. That is what modern science now speaks about. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, that is universal welfare. Welfare is the modern term, economic term. Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, unity in diversity. And this has been put as the slogan of the G20 meeting. Panjamahabhootha, that is also the theory associated with the Indian rishis when they thought of this universe, the cosmos. And Indian cosmology begins with this Panjamahabhootha, about this material world. And Panjamahabhootas, where did they evolve? From where did they evolve? They evolved out of the involved. That is what Swami Vivekananda used to say. Panjamahabhootas, evolution and involution. If we say this world is evolved out of something, what is that something? It is what is already involved there. Only from involution can evolution come. And the modern theory says that the Big Bang theory is out of nothing, something cannot emerge. So, before the Big Bang, what was there? The Big Bounce theory. That is the most modern cosmological theory put forward by cosmologists, scientists. Holistic vision and wisdom of India. So, this is vision, this is wisdom out of vision. And according to Vamsi Juluri, Rearming Hinduism in 2015, he wrote a very good book, Sanatana Dharma is Nature's Intelligence. That is the word he uses. It is quite natural. It is not something technical or artificial, it is quite natural. It is natural intelligence. And therefore, we cannot keep it away from our life, since it is very much natural. It is nature's intelligence, apaurushaya. This is the Sanskrit word that we usually use. Apaurushaya means beyond the human beings. It is nature's. And it is a wisdom in preserving life and minimizing pain. Rhythm and satyam. These are the two words. Yathartham manasa chindidam is rhythm. The truth that is thought of in the mind is rhythm. This is self-awareness, inexplicable. Sri Ramakrishna used to say an example. One day, a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna went near him and asked, Swamiji, how can you define God? Then Ramakrishna Dev said that, next day you come, I will answer. This person came near him next day, and Ramakrishna Dev gave some sugar to this person. And this person ate the sugar. And Swamiji asked, Ramakrishna Dev asked, what did you eat now? Sugar. What is the taste of sugar? Sweetness. Can you define sweetness? Can anybody define sweetness? You can enjoy, you can experience sweetness, but you cannot define it. It is inexplicable. God can be experienced. Nature's forces can be experienced. And even the most modern science cannot explain everything. What's my time limit? Should I have 10 more minutes? 10 more minutes, right? No problem. So I will go in a faster way. I will directly, because the theme is on Panjamahabhootha, Agni and Health, I will come to Agni directly. 5 elements. These are all things to be Agni, okay. Agni is the third element. Its quality is heat or temperature and light. The human organ associated with Agni is eye. It also represents external light and internal sight. Sun is the Devara. It enjoys the qualities of touch, Vayu, and sound, Akasha's quality, because it was evolved itself from Akasha and Vayu. Therefore, Agni includes these two qualities. There is an external fire and internal fire. Ignited fire, firearms, fiery speech, fiery thought, all these are examples. What is heat and cold? Lesser heat is cold. Everything is heat. When do we say cold? Because there is less heat in that. In that term we can explain that. 4 types of Agni are there. Jadara Agni gives a healthy and robust body. Both digestion and reproduction depend on Jadara Agni. That has been given by Sadguru, Isha Foundation. And Chindagni or Chidagni, fire of intelligence, ignited minds to unleash the power in India. Abdul Kalam's great book, Ignited Minds. Here, the fire of youth are to be sublimated to higher objectives. Then Bhudagni, both internal and external. The air fire. You see, when we breathe, the breathing fire, the exhaled fire, air has some warmth in that. There is the water fire in urine and blood. There is heat. The seawater also gets heated sometimes. External water and internal water content of the body both have this Agni element. And the earth fire, that is body fire, body has some heat. And the Sarvagni, that is the primordial fire. These are all concepts we explained at least 10 to 15 minutes. But I am skipping because of the lack of time. Sometimes you are given half a meter of cloth and asked to cut a cord for a 6-footer. That's very difficult. So, the Rig Veda tells us of the primal energy later transforms into the energy of life, that is Vaishravana Agni, then energy of thought, that is Prajna Agni, the radiation energy, Tejas Agni. This is reference of Satyaprakash Saraswat, the mystical meaning of fire in Rig Veda. Then fire in the stomach, cooking fire at home, sacrificial fire in altar, fire of cremation, fire of lightning and the sun. These are the different fires that we experience in our day-to-day life. Now the most important thing is Agni on human body and planets. This is the most important part. Average or normal temperature of the human body is 35 to 37 degrees Celsius. Everybody agree with that, I think. Average temperature of the planet is 14 to 16 degrees Celsius. After global warming, slight change in or increase in the average temperature has been experienced. The balanced temperature ranges from 30 to 50 degrees Celsius in human body. So if it comes to 93, it is Fahrenheit, but human body cannot reach 100 degrees Celsius. Maximum 50-52 degrees Celsius. After that, fever that will destroy the body. And that is disequilibrium, it will create disequilibrium. So there should be a proportional balance for Agni to work in the body. And if heat is diminished so much, increase in temperature is fever, which is unhealthy. Increase in temperature or global temperature is due to global warming, which is also unhealthy for the planet. See the similarity between human body and the planet, Earth. That is why we say we are very much associated with the nature. And decrease in temperature is death. Heat is the sign of life. Decrease in temperature is freezing, and less things means biodiversity is maximum, in the tropical regions where normal temperature ranges between say 25 to 30, 35 degrees or 44, even 45 degrees Celsius. On polar regions, biodiversity is less because heat is less. And in deserts where it goes above 50%, 50 degrees Celsius, the biodiversity is less. So life is flourishing in this equilibrium temperature. This is Agni determines life. Agni determines the body, the health of the body. And Indian wisdom of Agni, Deva, all these things I will skip. These are the global warming and human health. These are the diseases caused by Agni, increase in Agni. So much diseases. You can refer that. I am leaving this PowerPoint here so that if anybody wants, I will share that. Then impact health system by WHO. The Indian government has fruitfully intervened and made our presence in the international forum through Ayush. Yoga is Bharatiya, Ayurveda is Bharatiya. Third one, traditional environmental wisdom of India plus the leadership of the Champion of the Year 2018, that has been awarded to Prime Minister, will be placing India in the forefront of the Green Army of United Nations. And the United Nations has now accepted traditional knowledge initiative. Traditional knowledge initiative. Just like we heard from Lakshmi Amma. These knowledge systems are being accepted by UN and they are promoting that. So India has a very great scope in that. And last but not the least, Indian philosophy is going to be reckoned with the development philosophy of the 21st century through sustainable development. That's my research area. Sustainable development has a lot to do with Indian philosophy and Indian value system. And in G20, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and in fact, we are going to lead the world not through weapons, not through technology, and my opinion is that we are going to rule the world through our philosophy, which is the eternal truth, because without philosophy, science will not be able to direct the humanity in the proper way. So, friends, as my time is over and since I'm a past NCC officer, it's quite natural that I should not exceed time. Discipline is to be observed. Thank you very much for being here.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Sure, sir. Why not?
Thank you for your excellent speech, Dr. Muralivallabhan. Myself, Dr. Radhakrishnan, was the former principal scientist from JNTVG, also the former CEO of State Medicinal Plants Board, Kerala. Actually, I am a person who worked among the tribal. I don't need it.
I can hear.
I'm a person, worked among the tribal communities and folk communities of Kerala and Lakshadweep Islands. So, it is actually a different world. You have put that theory in it, but we have to apply to the society. And I am advocating for that, though I am a botanist. Okay? So, you see, this we are imitating some other people because we have got a lot of wisdom. For example, in astronomy, astrology, etc. Why don't we accept these sciences? We are actually sidelining, and these modern people say that there is no science in it. After studying all these things, only less than 1% of the world scientists can work in the jungles, which is a different world, also among the tribal communities, and among the fisher folk, old fisher folk and all these things. And I was documenting their knowledge. See, what a wonderful knowledge. Why India is not utilizing? Why we are going to imitate I am not complaining about the Western world or anything like that. So, my suggestion is that we have to recognize the traditional sciences. Otherwise, our meetings have got no meaning at all. We have to act. You have talked about Ayush. What is Ayush? Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and all these things. But whether the present Ayush is traditional, I'm telling you frankly, we have to cooperate. That tribal and folk medicine also.
Sir, could you be brief?
Yeah, this is the question.
Okay. The answer lies in your question itself, because philosophy without practice is very dry.
Yes.
And we cannot sidetrack modern science, because modern science is influencing the way. Even the mic which I hold is the product of modern science. So what we can do is to blend modern science with the traditional wisdom. That's why I said that modern science has certain defects, but for that reason we cannot sideline modern
No,
science.
I am not complaining about modern, but we are sidelining the traditional sciences.
Yes.
Which is the root of all science.
Yes, if we
What
could
is,
blend it
I
properly,
think we are running late, so we can have discussions in the lunch break. So let me now invite thank you, sir. Thank you.
And one more thing, I'm just leaving because at 6:30 I have to reach my place because I have to attend the board of studies. Being the chairman, I should be present there. Sorry for leaving early, otherwise I could have remained full day. Okay, thank you very much.
I request Dr. Radhakrishnan to hand over the memento as a token of appreciation to Dr. Muralivallabhan.